So to kick things off, tell us a little bit about the vision behind your brand, Humankind.
Yeah, so Humankind is an agency for urban change based in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. And it is we are an office that works with municipalities, with organizations, and with governments and companies to promote urban change, accelerate it. And our idea is to create cities that are better for ourselves, others, and the planet.
That sounds awesome. So how long have you guys been running the organization for?
So Humankind has been active for the past 3 years, I would say. We've been working separately, me and my business partner, and a couple of years ago we decided to bring it together under one roof, one name, and work together toward urban change.
Absolutely. Now, look, we can't escape the fact that these are difficult times at the moment. So I just want to find out from you how you think this pandemic might change Dutch cities going forward.
It's very difficult to answer this question now, and what you see online and on TV is a lot of those so-called experts trying to explain us how our life will look like. The problem is that I think that most people are trying to project what they feel now on how life will look later on, and I think that we need to looking at all those projections that about the disease and the way it goes, and also our leaders, how they projected that things will go. I think we need to be more modest. So I will not give you an answer how our life can look like later, but I'm sure that the economic crisis that might come and the fact that more people are now feeling the urge to have something stable, to live more relaxed life because maybe more crisis might come, will make change on our cities. So I'm definitely sure that our cities will experience some sort of transformation in terms of providing more green areas for people to sit in, maybe more focus on slow active transportation rather than mass transit, completely packed people in tubes and buses. But unfortunately, looking at the past, I don't think the big crisis will make a huge change.
I completely understand your caution, but do you think, not just in Dutch cities, but overall in other cities too, we'll see a reduction in urbanization where less people want to live in congested areas?
Yeah, I believe that this discussion about leaving the city is a discussion being made between the elites. They now live in cities because it's nice, and now they see that it might be a bit difficult because it is now density supposedly has some sort of connection, and they're thinking, okay, let's move to the farm, live alone without people. But the majority of people, and especially not in the Western world, but also in the Western world, the majority of people just live where there is job, where they can work, where they can get money to pay for food, for rent, for the mortgage. And this is the majority, this is really the 99%. And you can see it also in London during the epidemic. You can see the tube is full of people that need to go to work, they have to do it, even if the government says that you need to stay home and not use the public transportation. So maybe some people will leave the cities. I don't believe that it will have a huge change, and actually the opposite, because if we are going to experience some economic crisis, I think more people will need to move, especially in the developing world. More people will need to move to cities, more people will need to work harder, and work is in cities. This is where jobs are.
I think you're absolutely right. I think people may still want to be closer to opportunities, even if there is an increase in remote working. So maybe the situation won't change that much going forward. Another question I wanted to ask you just about I suppose, what positives do you think the pandemic might have for your mission for Humankind?
Yeah, so it's for me, I'm in a very lucky place. I'm in a relatively safe country, safe city. I know that our government is, I feel safe that our government will make sure that poor people will receive help, and I have a place to live, and me and my family are safe. But in my position now, I have also time to reflect on the epidemic and think, okay, can we actually use it to get out of this period stronger, both in terms of our work, but in general cities. And I do feel among colleagues and friends and people in the neighborhood that there is this understanding how important it is to have connections between people. I mean, now when we are forced to stay home, we understand how important it is to do those things that we are missing, those things that we used to do, meeting our neighbors, going to the supermarket and seeing a friend that we haven't seen for a long time on the street. And I think that this understanding that public spaces, parks, great squares, lovely streets are so important in our identity as urbanites, might help in the future after we come out of this epidemic to maybe really develop those places in a better way.
Now, another question I wanted to ask you was about your working habits. How do you think that might change significantly in the future in terms of how you work?
I think that fairly soon we are going to return to the office, keeping this 1.5 meter distance from each other. And I think we just need to do it, because if we are not going to go to the office and stop paying the rent, also the owner of the building is going to suffer, and it's a chain. So we just need to force ourselves to, of course, when it's safe and possible and allowed by the government, I think we just need to try to get back to reality as fast as possible. And we are quite used to work from far away. I mean, we've been working in different cities, different countries. Skype is our friend. That's how we work. And of course, the lack of meeting really allows you to have more time for yourself, to reflect, to develop new initiatives. But again, I really acknowledge that I'm lucky. I live in a good country, the way I see it. I'm not stressed economically through this crisis yet, and I'm lucky, but I'm thinking about all those other professionals that are really suffering right now, and my art goes out to them.